I'm here speaking with Dan Bittinger, who is the candidate for the Supervisors District 2 position. So it's nice to speak with you.
Thank you for having me here. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. So let's start off with, for people who may be unfamiliar with you,
Sure.
what's something that they may not know about you or something that's of interest?
Oh, sure. Something that's a great question, Caitlin. One thing you may not know about me, I'm a pastor here in town, and I've been here for 9 years. So I'm not originally from Iowa. From Ohio, born and raised, but we love being here, my family and I, and where I grew up is very similar. So I feel like we're back in home where I grew up, and so yeah.
Yeah, so what initially made you decide to run?
Well, what initially made me decide to run was I saw that Justin wasn't running again, and I wanted to do my part to serve in our government and do a civic duty. I didn't get a chance to serve in the military like my grandfathers or my dad did, but I wanted to serve somehow, and I've realized in this time in my life I have some more time and just, I would say, maturity and a little more life wisdom to be able to serve, and I was looking really forward to kind of just getting involved and making sure that Woodbury County, and Sioux City is just stronger and better and healthy, and have a good, healthy county government. So. Yeah,
definitely. So, what issue is your top priority?
Okay. Yeah, I've actually I've got four. I'll say them real briefly, quickly. First one is just budget accountability, making sure the county government's spending less than what we bring in. The government doesn't have a never-ending checkbook like you and I. We don't have a never-ending checkbook of money, and the government doesn't either. Second would just be economic development. I want to work with the Siouxland Chamber of Commerce. How can we bring in new businesses? How can we support entrepreneurs or business owners that want to grow and expand their business? I know everyone's looking for workers, quality employees, and so how do we do that? And then third is just principled governance, making sure that as a supervisor we're keeping the role of the county government in check and within its constitutional bounds and authorities. And so I want to do that. And then lastly, just making sure that we support the rule of law in our sheriff's department. I think it's really important that all people feel safe, protected, business owners, just people, families, when you're going out to Hy-Vee or going out to the mall or whatever, that you feel protected and that the rule of law is supported. And I know that right now we've seen a lot of increase in crime, even in Sioux City. It's been a 4% increase of violent crime this year, and that's a huge number for Sioux City. And so I want to make sure that we are supporting our local sheriff's department and even the Sioux City Police, that we're working in congruency with them. So to make sure everyone's safe.
Yeah, definitely. So what sets you apart from your opponent?
Well, I would say one thing is that in my vocational roles, currently as a pastor, and then even before that, I've worked with law enforcement. I've worked with policy and governance and budgeting. I've overseen many employees. And in my current role as pastor, my job is to make sure that people are taken care of and that they're served and that their concerns are listened to, and making sure that they're more healthier in all areas of their life and able to function and actually live a great life. And so most of my roles have been involved with service and leading people, making sure that they're able to lead a productive life. And so I feel like it helps me out of understanding laws and policy and governance, and also what are practical, real benefits of to live and to ensure people have the freedom to live and to pursue their dreams and visions for their life. And so.
Yeah, definitely. So when voters approach you with issues, if you're elected, what's your process for kind of addressing those issues?
Oh, sure. Well, when they come to me, I'm going to sit down with them first and write. I like to take notes, and so I'm going to hear all their concerns, and then I'm going to go to our other county elected officials. Go to them first. If someone comes to me with an issue that may not be in my sphere of influence or knowledge, I'm going to go to those other elected officials or those appointed members of committees and departments in the county and see, hey, this citizen brought this concern. Hey, what do you know about this? What's the history on this? What's been done or hasn't been done? And what are practical solutions? What's an Iowa code? What all of those things. And then from there, I'll follow back up with the citizen, with a phone call or sit down with them in person. And then after that, if we have to go further, there's further resolution or further things we can do, invite them to come out to the local supervisors meeting every week. Come speak before the supervisors, make their case known, or the concern or the issue, or maybe something that's a good thing they want to implement that we can do better. Come out and present that so that everyone can hear that. So. Yeah.
So are there areas of the supervisor's budget that you feel don't get enough funding right now, or that you would want to kind of look at again?
Well, that's a great question. In first time running, and as I've sat down with our budget director for the county and looking over the county budget, I think one thing I think most people are concerned, I would say maybe everyone I've talked to out on the campaign trail have said just making sure that our sheriff's department has enough resources and budget to hire quality officers, training, resources. Are we paying the officers enough, to retain quality law enforcement officers? So I would want to look at that to make sure that we can do that. But I know there's probably other areas that need more addressing in that. Probably another one would be just mental health too as well. I know that's a concern, making sure that officers and first responders that they are taken care of, and so but that falls within their budgets too, their yearly budgets. So I want to make sure that they're adequately resourced, and so. But that's one thing I would want to look into. Yeah, if I hopefully get elected, to be able to look into that more and find out where can we improve or where do we need to bolster certain departments with more finances. So.
Yeah. So what are your plans for reaching out to voters and doing that part of the elected position?
Oh, sure. Yeah. Once I become, if I get elected, yeah. Well, I would say it's continuing just with my Facebook campaign, just presence. I would want to try to have quarterly, kind of have I don't know what you'd call it, but like a supper with the supervisor, kind of something like that. Something, I know it's cheesy, but just something like that. Just, hey, have it at different maybe local businesses, restaurants, and just say, come out. Let's have a forum and just talk what your concerns. Kind of what they do with the Sioux City Police, where they have nights where the public can come out and just meet the officers, voice either encouragement and/or concerns they have. Do the same thing with the supervisors, and maybe do it like once a quarter. And then also too, just online. Can we utilize the website and maybe online tools, texting or video text like that to connect and have a place where citizens can. Upload or send over their concerns or questions, and we can respond back in maybe a digital format as well. If just for quickness and ease, with some people, our county is very big, and having people travel, always be able to travel to a supervisor's meeting or come in person to the courthouse, so that might help keep communication flowing without having to have people travel a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Well, those were all the questions that I had. Is there anything else that you wanted to add or want to talk about?
Well, no, I would just say that I'm thankful for the opportunity to run. It's been enjoyable campaigning and getting to meet all the citizens. I've met a lot of people here in this last year, and I think Woodbury County's in some great hands. The people are passionate about making sure that's a great place to live and work, and people care about the local government, care about businesses, and making sure that everyone is thriving. So it's just encouraging to see people engage in our republic and in the civic duty of voting. So, but no, looking forward to it in the election. So,
awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks for taking the time to talk to me.
Yeah, thank you for having me.